guys, I'm Cadence.
And I'm Nora.
And today, we're here to bring you 5 tips on how to break up with someone.
First, you need to remember to find yourself an appropriate time and place. You want the situation to be as comfortable as it possibly can.
Number 2, respect the dignity of the receiver. That means no ghosting and no breaking up over text.
3, you need to admit that what you have to say is hard. It's okay to be a little vulnerable.
Number 4, make sure to let yourself pause.
And last but not least, don't lie ever.
To make things a little bit easier, we're going to break it down with a conversation between friends.
Cadence, I need to break up with my boyfriend. I don't want him to think I'm a horrible person, but it's time for this to end. What do I do?
Breaking up is hard, but you can't just text him, then he'll totally hate you.
Okay, so I have to deliver bad news in person? That sounds awkward and horrible.
It might be awkward and horrible, but you and Brad have a relationship built on trust and respect. You owe it to him to tell him in person.
Okay, but what do I say, and how do I do it?
Let me show you. Let's start by defining the breakup.
Defining the breakup? I thought we were supposed to define the relationship. You know, DTR, not the breakup.
A breakup is part of the relationship. In fact, according to research, a breakup is not a single event. It's a process that affects behaviors, cognitions, and affect.
Okay, that makes sense. It wasn't a single event. A lot of things have led up to this. But how do I use these tips and strategies in real life?
First, you need to find the appropriate time and place. You don't want to break up with him in front of a crowd or on your anniversary. Both of these scenarios are disrespectful and insensitive. Do you have a private place that you could go to have this conversation?
A park is pretty private. Do you think I could break up with him in the Pine Grove?
I think as long as it wasn't a busy day with a lot of people around, that would be fine.
Okay, so I'm also supposed to respect the dignity of Brad, but what does that mean?
That means treat Brad like a person and not like a relationship you're throwing away. Make sure he knows that your relationship was meaningful.
Okay, but won't that be confusing if I tell him how meaningful our relationship was and then I just break up with him?
No, just because you're happy in a relationship doesn't mean it's going to last. Not all people are compatible in the long run.
Okay, I guess that makes sense. What else should I know?
It's also important that you avoid putting too much blame on yourself. If you do this, Brad may try to salvage the relationship, and you guys might end up getting back together a few too many times.
Yeah, I definitely don't want that. It sounds like being honest is the best way to go about all of this. Do you have any more advice?
You need to admit that what you're going to say is hard.
Okay, obviously it's hard. Nobody likes breaking up with someone or being broken up with.
Yeah, but you should still say it. It shows him that you aren't taking this decision lightly and that you care about him.
Okay, I guess I could start with this. Brad, what I'm about to say is hard, but I think it's the best decision for the both of us.
It also helps if you take a deep breath and let yourself pause.
Why should I do that?
Because of something called the mum effect.
The what?
The mum effect. It stands for keeping mum about undesirable messages, like breaking up with someone.
Okay, but why will the mum effect help me?
People naturally tend to take a pause before delivering bad news, and this is for a reason. Taking that pause allows Brad to prepare himself for the bad news he's about to hear and prepares you for delivering it.
Okay, that makes sense. Is there anything else I should know?
The last thing you need to make sure you do is not lie.
Okay, so I can't tell him that I'm moving, or I can't fake my own death, and I can't pretend I have a rare terminal illness.
Well, you could, but research shows that clearly communicating your reasons for ending a relationship are the most effective. If you lie, things might become messy, and Brad may try to salvage things. Your best bet is to just tell him the truth.
Okay, thanks, Cadence. Now I know how to properly end a relationship and still be a semi-decent human being.
Of course!
And most importantly, in the words of Dr. Jason Dibble, if you're not ready to handle the end of a relationship, you're not ready to start one either.